the production of energy. So it's a complex problem. It's something that is based on science. It's not something that we create to one day to another. Consequences of years and years of mass production and irresponsibility. That is what we're trying to. First of all, the first step that we're trying to take to educate.
Thank you so much, Robert, for such a wonderful talk on you shared about climate change, this consequence of climate change. You discuss about the how pandemic affects the people and their people life. My question to you is that why climate change occurs?
So, as I mentioned before, climate right now is staggering the next generations. So I think the is also, as I mentioned, with COVID-19 and the virus and this economic disruption and social disruption. I think climate is a topic by itself. It's a complex topic, but that we need to face, that we need to take action to. Right now, we hear in a lot of forums, in a lot of events and online events about sustainability and climate action, about build back better after this pandemic. The pandemic, first of all, is not over all over the world. The result of the pandemic is not yet here. So when we talk about climate change and climate action, we need to have the data. We need to have science. We need to have the method and the methodology to understand and study these complex situations, because we might see some reports of United Nations and some other public or private entities when we is a certain or percentage percentage of people are contaminating more than the other part of the world. So that's why we need to first of all educate people about their own consumption and production. Where's my food coming from? How am I wasting my food? How can I provide food to the people in need? How can I, as an individual, can participate and change their relationship in my context, in my own circle, in my conditions? No matter if I'm in the United States, if I'm in Canada, Brazil, and Mexico, or in China, it's actually about a global commitment. It's about a global compromise between human beings to reduce this inequality gap. So, as I was mentioning before also, build back better in how we're going to face and solve this pandemic. We need to private and public sectors. There's been 5 years already about this topic in the public agenda. Right now, we're on the decade of actions within 10 years to take main stage, but we also have more challenges coming, just as a green transition and, as you mentioned, the 7 billion.
Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful information that why climate change occurs. And thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful talk on this topic. It's time for break. We will continue to talk with you after the break.
साईं, हमारी फसलों को कीड़े लग रहे हैं, साईं क्या करें?
बस आसान करो।
आसान करो हैं?
नहीं, आजकल तो दुबई के बड़े चक्कर साईं, नई नई पैंट बुशर्ट साईं। साईं कोई हमारा भी दुबई में रोजगार करा दो साईं।
आसान करो।
आसान करो।
चाचू, ये थ्योरी समझ नहीं आ रही, समझाए ना कैसे करूं?
आसान करो।
हैं? आसान करो?
बेटे, इसमें तो बड़ा मसला है, शहर भेजना पड़ेगा।
दादी, आसान करो।
आसान करो।
यूट्यूब करो, आसान करो।
अपनी जिंदगी की हर मुश्किल आसान करो। यूट्यूब करो, सब आसान करो। A public service message by Rehan Foundation.
Viewers, welcome back after break. We are talking with Roberts. He's from the Mexico. He was talking about the social issue, climate change issue, and he is a wonderful people. He is a multi-talented. He is from the USA. He is a climate change specialist, TV host, and he is also a researcher. Let's move to Roberts to talk to proceed our talk further. Roberts, welcome back after the break. My question to you that as you are talking wonderfully on the climate change, my question is that how we prevent our Mother Earth from this climate change? How we prevent our Mother Earth from this climate change?
That's a hard question, actually, because when we start to study climate actually just as a topic, as a science, a part of biology and meteorology and physics and intermulti and transdiscipline, when we start studying just climate as this complex science, actually we have like 200 or 115 years of studies depending of each discipline. But when we start to realize about CO2 and dioxide carbon on the environment, and how we start realizing about these uh, irregularities on the bodies, then we start to realize about where is all this contamination, all this pollution coming from. And then we realized that it was because our factories and because of our cars and the way that we were producing our society, the way that we were actually developing in our societies and democracies. So right now, and I mention it because through these years we now learn and now we know that these actions that we have in the past, it's going to have imminent consequences on the environment. No matter if we stop and listen uh, to this quote, no matter if we stop producing or contaminating like right now completely in our societies, no matter if we turn off all the factories and all the contamination on the rivers and the air and the oceans, no matter if we stop it right now, there will be consequences within the 10 and 20 years because of the last 80 and 115 years of productions, depending on the geographical area. So there is going to be consequences no matter if we stop or we continue. And that's the main topic right now. We are it. You know, it might seem weird, it might seem and it might seem stupid that we are going to continue contaminating, but that's also related to energy, that's relating to food productivity, that's related to education. So the disruptive model is to change the way that we're producing energy and the way that we are producing our food. We need to change to a green economy, to sustainable solutions like solar energy to get wind energy and to produce food, not wasting our own resources. You know that we spend a lot of food production to produce more food, but this is not sustainable when we try to get just a stick, when we try to get beef meat, when we try to get chicken meat. So there are big challenges for all humankind. There's not just one solution. There's nothing we can do right now to stop these consequences, but we can reduce the impact of these consequences in the near future. That's the main topic about it. We Our pollution now causes temperature rise. We now causes an environmental freaking on north and south pole of our planet. We have tons and tons of plastic and radiation. There is radiation causes because of bomb testing to military testing in the oceans and in the maritime sea life. So we are eating polluted by plastic fish and also polluted by radioactivity animals. So definitely this is going to have an impact on our life. So we need to change that model. If we want to change the future for the next generations, then we need to act now. We need to ask for a solution. We need to join collectively together to create a collective solution for everybody, leaving no one behind. And that's important to highlight. That's the topic and the quote of the Sustainable Development Agenda, to leave no one behind. Because if we segregate people by different sectors, then we don't realize that each sector will live independently, and maybe just 1% of the population will have a good benefit economically, socially, educationally, when they have a solutions and green sustainable life. But what about the 99% of the global population, the population that does not have millions and billions of US dollars in their bank accounts? They're going to live in marginated areas. They're going to live in contaminated areas, and they're going to feed. We are going to feed by this contaminated resources. So that might be a one of a kind response. This is probably the last change that we have to solve our relationship with environment. Talking about the oceans, talking about the life on land, and talking about climate action with environmental and the oxygen, the quality of the air, and how many chemical products we throw to the air every second, not each year, not each day, but every second. There are tons and tons of polluted chemicals that we throw to the air that's going to have consequences in the consequences of
Thank you so much. Actually, I feel very amazed that how you explain this whole scenario, how you explain about how we prevent our Mother Earth from climate change. Thank you so much for sharing such a valuable, such a previous information and to me, to my viewers. As I have taken already lot of time of you, uh, already I have learned lot of things too from you. I have one more question from you. As you are also working as a TV host, so share your journey, how you became as a TV host, and after becoming a TV host, how you are feeling things. So please share this journey to my viewers.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Command, first of all, for the opportunity. And answer your question, I realized, as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, I realized about the climate change, realizing since I was a little child. I always love to watch about wildlife and different topics related now to nature. So that's how I start with this love and this inquietude about communication and social media. And as I was having my tuition and my formation as a researcher, I realized that there's a lot of papers, there's a lot of data, there's a lot of information right now, thanks to communication and to social media. We have access to a lot of more resources every second, every day. But sometimes this communication does not get to the right people, or sometimes it's complicated to get this information to the right people. to the people. So you know that now, taking as an example, TikTok or YouTube or Twitch or Telegram or WhatsApp, Instagram, there are a lot of applications right now all over the world. And as a citizens and as a people, we are actually exposed to the social media. So every one of us are now a content creator as this program, which I'm really thankful to be part right now. We are all creative of contents, but we need to know it is important to highlight that, for example, in my case, I realized about the sustainability and inequality. There is not a program, a TV program, or like something that it's actually entertaining and it's interesting to young people, to young students, but where they can also learn about sustainability, when they can learn about climate action, when they can also participate and be part of the topic, because it's not only about getting more information and information. It's about being part, and it's about being part of the solution. So that's why I created two topics. One of the two is different disciplines from different careers to talk about how they feel, what it's their formation, what it's their point of view on topics that are happening all over the world. And then I realized how diverse and how complex we as a human beings are, because maybe I get that we have the same point of view, maybe you and I have the same vision of climate change. But as you start talking with more and more people, you realize that maybe you feel alone, and then you start discovering more people, and then you don't feel alone, but then you start to feeling alone again, because you realize people have different opinions from different topics. So maybe that's the whole point of these conversations with Primate Lane, when we talk about this publicly, when we get different points of young students. And the main thing is to diversify and expose, to bring to the public eye, to bring this conversation where everybody can access this conversation and get this information from different point of view. Because sometimes, I don't know, maybe watching an old documentary or reading a newspaper or watching the news is not what caught my attention the most, where I feel more comfortable. But maybe seeing young people just like me talking about the topic with an easy narrative, when they don't use in a specific and complex channel conversation and language, I feel more attracted. So that's how Primate Lane work. In Spanish is Prime Plano, Diálogo Juvenil, which is youth talking. And then we have climate sessions, when we talk about climate issues, when we talk about climate in general, when we talk about people, with children, with young adults, about these climate topics. Now we're advancing and creating new projects to have this conversation in another continent, in another countries. So it's a daily thing. It's not easy. It's easy to think a project and maybe have the first and second and third chapter and or activity, but continue doing things every day slowly, take time, take effort, and it's not an easy thing, but definitely have a value in all effort. It's worth every day and every little thing that we're doing to achieve and to talk and to spread this topic and this information on sustainability and climate change. So that's how we started. I start working with different companies, with universities, with organization, and that's something I will never change about taking this decision and creating this concept work, which is not mine. And I want to say that it's more need than ever. We need to create bridges of communication, bridges of opportunities, and exchange different point of view. So in diversity, in multiculturalism, cultural environments, we realize the necessities and the needs of all the people that is on the same place that you. That maybe in another way it wouldn't be possible. So that's how I create this TV program. How I became the TV host of
Thank you so much, Robert, for such a wonderful conversation, for such a wonderful way you shared today with me. You taught me to my viewers about the climate change. You taught us about how we prevent our Mother Earth from the climate change. You also shared your life journey. You also share your journey as a TV host, and in the end, you also appeal the people for climate control, how we prevent from the climate control. So thank you so much for such a wonderful, such a lovely person being there, and such a knowledgeable person. Thank you for coming to my show, and it's really honor and privilege for me. Thank you so much. We will continue in another session. We'll talk new things. Till that, viewers, in next live session, we come with another new guest. We'll learn new things. Till that, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again, Robert. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, Mr. Command. It will be my pleasure to be in another conversation with you and with all your audience. Thank you so much. Until the next time.
Thank you so much for everything.